The new lineup of Macs with M1s?
I got one right back here that I'm probably going to return. I was trying to decide if the Air. It doesn't make sense to buy the other one.
Where are you returning then?
The Air. I haven't opened it. I just changed my mind.
Why?
I have a really expensive, good Windows laptop, and I was like, is it really, like, after reading the reviews, I don't know if it's so, if it's so good that it's worth it. So it's a lot better. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Only if you care to replace your current computer. Otherwise, what's the use?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a desktop computer here that I wouldn't replace. I just bought this thing because it made sense to just have a desktop computer, more powerful. But I have a laptop.
Yeah, a Lenovo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty good machine already.
Yeah, it was like a $4,000 laptop, I think, this thing. Although it's not as good as, I don't know.
The funny thing is that the Air will beat
the
metrics. Like if you try to run any of the benches right now, Geekbench or anything like that, the Air will beat its pants off. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I mean, the cool thing about it, like, and I think this is where Apple, like, it changes the entire industry, is that they put it all on one chip. It's a computer on a chip, basically. And that, like, so other companies are going to have to start doing that in order to compete. So I think you're going to see, like, partnerships between Intel and Microsoft and Lenovo and some of the big manufacturers, between chip manufacturers, where they're, I don't know. I mean, it disrupts the entire industry, right? Because it's like, because you can't compete with that when it's all on one chip, you know.
Yeah, well, and it's not Intel with Microsoft. It's Intel with the memory manufacturers, because the integration of memory has just taken it to another level. Like, imagine not having to go to an external bus for SDRAM access, right?
Yeah.
The game changes the game completely. Like, it's not an external bus. The memory is sitting inside the whole chip with the processor, and it's a simple fabric. Like, it's a simple bus system that's internal to the chipset, and the graphics processor and the like the CPU and the neural engine are all sharing that memory. That's just gonna, like, these guys are so far left behind now, like trying to now get all of that fabric, like building all of that system back in. Intel trying to now integrate graphics processor the same way, and also integrate SDRAM, and building that out. It's gonna be interesting. Intel's gonna struggle, and so is AMD. The winner is NVIDIA.
Yeah, because
NVIDIA bought ARM, so no matter what, NVIDIA is the winner, right? Because Apple still has to license from ARM.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
NVIDIA won. And not only that, Qualcomm licenses from ARM, Apple licenses from ARM. So everyone who's using ARM, every freaking cell phone manufacturer in the world is licensing from ARM. So for NVIDIA to provide the graphics power with it, super easy. And if NVIDIA were to go into the memory side of things, then NVIDIA is going to start killing Intel.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how x86 is losing to ARM now. like there was a period of time where everyone said ARM is done, and that's like the old technology, and it's like the beta making a comeback to the VCR almost, right? Like ARM was pretty much done.
This is huge for Qualcomm too, because Qualcomm has been in this game for so long, and they've tried the Windows laptops with the Qualcomm SoCs, with the ARM. But now that Qualcomm sees that Apple has been able to pull it off, for Qualcomm to slap another 4 cores or 8 cores and do all this work, it's really easy to now again start selling those Air style computers, or not computers, but like those chips for those computers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And this is just the first generation of these. The Air, like the MacBook Air, like, it's kind of funny because Apple almost screwed themselves. Like it doesn't make any sense to buy a MacBook Pro, the 13-inch right now, because the only thing it has is a fan. That's basically the only differentiator. It has the exact same chip, aside from that they have the remainders. So the only difference between the chip between the Air and the Pro is that that some of the chips where the graphics cores where one of the graphics cores were defective, that's what they put in the air. So it might have seven graphics cores instead of 8. That's which is nothing. It doesn't matter. So it's such a small difference. That to me the air makes the most sense because it doesn't have a fan.
Guess what? I'm getting it delivered today. So
you're getting an air.
I'll test it out. I'll see how it performs compared to my machine.
Yeah, I bet.
Nice.
The only thing is though, what you'll see right now is because remember this is the RISC architecture, right? So, so it's going to require that. So the binaries are incompatible, right? So that means that applications that are built with an x86 technology, like that have those machine instructions, won't run natively on an ARM processor. So so basically it has to be virtualized. So if you take any of your existing applications and you run them, they're going to have to run in a interpreter that is going to interpret the machine instructions.
They have that, right? They call it Rosetta 2. It's their virtualizer.
So
that's what they're using.
Yeah, so it'll be an efficiency loss until application developers develop applications that are ARM native.
I mean, if
Chrome
you look
already
at
has an ARM native.
If I look at my desktop these days, there are so few applications. Like it's all going into the browser.
Yeah,
such little application load compared to what it used to be. Right, everything is going into the browser. All I probably do is Zoom, for that matter. Right, everything. The Chrome apps are becoming the real app of the world now.
Yeah. And Chrome already has an M1 compile, so you can already download the DMG.
Exactly. So the world is going to the browser. Yeah, just a few of the creative suite like recording tools. Even that, most of it is you're better on the cloud softwares these days, like Loom and things like that.
Yeah. Plus they've made it so now that iOS apps basically are compatible with, because they have the same instruction set as Mac apps. So now you can, you can basically run any kind of iPhone app, assuming that there's still like the manufacturer has to allow it, but essentially you can you can sideload them. So
yeah, I really want the 16-inch. But like, I wish there was 16-inch available right now. MacBook, Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. It's pretty interesting though. It's a pretty good leap forward, I think. So it changes the game.
It's gonna make great.
The only problem is graphics.
Any attention to this stuff?
Oh, well, now you just got your education on it. So.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make a new podcast, like a tech podcast. We'd have like tons of. We could be rich by now. We could be
the Dev Chat M1 podcast.
Yeah.
So in other news, I think I'm done. I think I have to put an end to my running. I just ran 14 miles this morning. I was supposed to run 15, but I could hardly walk after 12 miles. So I'm supposed to run 30 tomorrow. I don't know. I got sick a couple weeks ago and I had like 104 fever for a couple days. So I missed like a couple workouts, but I just missed 2 runs, like a 20-mile and a 25-mile run, but I made up for them the next weekend because I just extended my coach extended my workouts, and I was running okay. But last weekend I started to break down. I had to run like an 18-mile run, and it was just, after 10 miles I was dead. I had to drag myself to finish it, and then I had to run a 16-mile run the next day, and again it was like after 8 miles I was dead, and I just never recovered. I took an extra day off this week. I'm still feeling was feeling a little bit sick this week and last week, I guess, but I don't know if it's a combination of overtraining, or I think it's a combination of the training and then the sickness hitting my fitness, just because your body, like when you're training that hard, when you're running like 80-mile weeks, the amount of recovery your body needs is huge, right? To be able to replenish and to be able to. And so I think it's just 2 competing resources. Like when you're sick, even if you're mildly sick, your body's trying to recover and rejuvenate and fight in illness. And so it's not it's basically preferring to spend the energy on that versus on recovering your muscles. So I think that I never got recovered because I couldn't. And so now I'm in such a deep hole that I don't think I can get out of it. It's because there's no way, like I was supposed to run 15 miles today and I literally could not make it one more mile. Like 14 was, I couldn't go anymore. I could hardly walk after at 14.
Did you get tested for COVID antibodies?
I did earlier, like before I got sick, but I'll probably get tested again for the antibodies. I don't trust the actual COVID test because I'm not going to have anyone stick anything inside me, but I'll have them take a vial of blood. Well, I'll have them take a vial of blood because that's different because they don't know what the purpose of the vial of blood is. Like it's, but sticking a
get tested because like this is regular COVID stuff that you're talking about, which is like high fever, but then even after that, the fatigue kind of lingers on. It doesn't just go away very quickly. So
yeah, it could be
very standard COVID symptoms. Might want to get tested for antibodies.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced that COVID exists. So we'll see.
I know you may not be convinced that a lot of things don't exist.
Well, okay, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying there's no conclusive evidence, right? Isolate the virus and show me the virus, because most other viruses we've been able to isolate. We are only using RNA fragments to do that. The tests that they use test for small fragments of RNA that are common to lots of different coronaviruses. We have tons of different coronaviruses. It's very difficult to differentiate between them. The common cold is a coronavirus. The people that die of coronavirus die of pneumonia, which is the same thing that people that die of the flu, and it's the same morbidity, and it's the same group of people with comorbidities. So there's no proof that coronavirus exists.
I'm trying to give you positive news here. All I'm saying is just because you got COVID 2 weeks ago and now you are almost recovered, maybe give it another week or two, and once you're fully recovered, you'll be back to your running game. Don't quit running because of COVID. It's all right.
Yeah, but well, here's the thing. So I agree with you, except that in order for me to be able to run 100 miles, the level of training that I have to do, it's not like I'm just going to go run a half marathon. Like we're talking about, the level that I have to be at to be able to do that. It requires, like, here's a good example, right? After the first attempt, right? When I wanted to try again, it required me to train for another 7 weeks just to get back to the spot, because it requires such a high level of fitness. And so even if I take like a week off or so, you're right, I'll probably be back to normal. I'll probably be good, but I'll have lost so much fitness that I'll have to build up for another 4 or 5 weeks, and I'll drag it out again, which I've already dragged it out. Remember, I've been training for this 100-mile race for over a year now. I started in like the end of October of last year. So
well, and you were supposed to do it in September, and then you were supposed to do it.
Yeah. So at this point, it's like just plus it's so, I'm running 15 hours a week. It takes so much time and energy. Like it's hard to even sit in front of a computer for 3 hours a day with when you're running 80-mile weeks, to be honest. So
well, take a few weeks off and then start training for this Ironman with me.
I have no interest in the Ironman. No, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quit running completely, and I'm just going to focus on lifting and business,
bodybuilding.
So, yeah, I think, yeah. But it sucks. I'd like to have been able to make it the 100. At least I made it the 50, and I had a good time on the 50. I did everything I could. I'm not giving up for the sake of giving up, because I don't want to do it. If the problem is that I just can't. There's no way I can complete the workouts I need to do physically at this point. So
yeah, well, the other thing is you can rest, you can start doing the other stuff, and then if it strikes you again, I really do want to do the 100. You can always start training for another one. It's not it doesn't have to be a permanent decision.
Yeah, I've thought about that, and I think it at this point it's like the amount that you have to ramp up in order to be there.
Yeah,
is so much. You're talking like a year worth of training and the sacrifices that go with it, and the the damage. I don't think my body can take another ramp up. Remember the other thing is like that I'm 235 pounds. So, the average person training for an ultra marathon like this, most of the ultra runners are 140, 150 pounds max. Like that's heavy for an ultra runner to be 150. So the wear and tear that they go through on their body is not nearly as high as what I go through going through this. So it's probably not an option. I don't think that I'll be able to take another round of this. So
yeah, well, it's funny because you're talking about running 14 miles, and I'm kind of getting back in the wagon, so to speak, to train for this Ironman. And holy cow, I'm like wiped out. I'm so tired all the time. Of course, I've only been doing this for a week or so, and kind of getting back in. I haven't hit the pool yet, even because I'm trying to figure out when I can go to the pool. Because like running and biking, I can kind of do on the trails behind my house. Of course, it's getting freaking cold now. But swimming, I have to drive. The gym that's close to me doesn't have a pool, so I have to go to the next town over to their gym to swim. And anyway. Yeah,
that's the challenge of Ironman training. You gotta, and you can't travel really because, you could travel, but if you travel, you got to like bring a bike with you, or you got to figure out where you're gonna get a bike, or I guess a trainer or something, and then where you're gonna swim. So that's why I kind of avoided the Ironman stuff.
One thing I learned with the marathon though is that half of it is getting into the kind of shape to where you can actually run for 26.2 miles. And the other half of it is building up your aerobic base so that your body can support you running for 26.2 miles. Right. Yeah. So some of it's what your legs are capable of, and some of it is just, whether or not you can oxygenate enough to not, keel over halfway through it. And so if I were traveling for like a week here and another week there in the middle of this, then I might be more inclined to just, suck it up and just run for a couple of days and not swim
I
or
see
bike.
What you're saying. Yeah, because you'd keep the aerobic
because I'd be building my aerobic base even though I'm not doing the actual sport. Like we're going up to my mom every year. She rents an Airbnb, and we all go and stay, basically in a giant house together, and we play games and we go sledding and stuff. And so for that, I'm planning on just doing something while I'm up there. So I might go for a run, even though it's freezing up there because it's even further north, or something like that. But I'll get it in. I just don't know where, how.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like for me, like cardiovascularly, I could run 100 miles, no problem.
Yeah.
My legs won't do it now. Like my body won't do it. So which is the frustrating part because my aerobic base is strong enough definitely to support it. But so I guess one possibility would be if I like cycled for a week or two and just cycled a ton of miles. The only problem is I haven't really cycled, so I wouldn't be able to do it. But if I had been, then I could keep my aerobic capacity while my legs recovered, and then. But I don't know. I'll talk to my coach today, but I think it's pretty much done. I don't think there's any way to pull this out at this point. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you the bike riding. I was complaining to my wife the other day. I'm like, I hurt so bad. And she's like, where? And I'm like, oh, it's my butt. She's like, get a nicer bike or get a nicer seat. And I'm like, I don't think that's the problem. Like it only hurts when I move a certain way.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, that thing was hard. It was hard, but it really is just down to, I haven't exercised those muscles.
Chuck.
What did you say?
She never said that.
She did. Anyway. But yeah, I hear you there. I'm a little bit sad for you, John, honestly, because I kind of wanted you to just, get it done and say you did it.
You'll be back at it. Once you're done with COVID, you'll be back at it.
I don't know.
COVID is good news for you. At least you're fighting a known enemy, not some random fatigue or anything like that. But let's talk about business. Now that we know that
business.
Yeah.
So I think I committed to making a decision before last time.
Oh yeah.
This time.
What's the plan?
So this is a harder decision than I thought. And what I'm really inclined toward is the podcast stuff. But my struggle with that is figuring out how DevChat fits into that, right? Because running DevChat gives me a lot of credibility with the podcast stuff. But at the same time, I think what I've decided for sure with DevChat is that I am probably going to cut about 4 or 5 shows.
Okay.
I'm not going to run them anymore.
What's the total download volume? Can you give like of the breakdown of the shows of the last one?
So, well, I can give it to you weekly. So
Sure.
JavaScript Jabber gets about 15 to 17,000 downloads per episode. Ruby Rogues and Adventures in
Hang on,
Angular
per episode or per week?
per episode, which is essentially per week.
Well, they get downloaded over time.
Yeah, that's true. But most of the downloads come in within the first few days.
Okay, so 15. Mine are more evergreen, I guess. But anyways, keep 15,000.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the catalog gets downloaded a certain amount too.
So JavaScript Jabber gets what, 60,000 downloads a month?
Yeah, 60 to 70.
Okay.
Ruby Rogues and Adventures in Angular clock in somewhere in the ballpark of 5,000
Per episode.
per episode. So they're 20, 21, 22,000, something like that each. I need to look at what the rest of them are. Where's my mouse? Hello, mouse. Elixir Mix. So Elixir Mix, I've been running that one for several years, and I think they get around 1,000 to 1,500 per episode.
Obviously cutting that, man. Kill that shit.
Yeah, I have a sponsor on it right now, though.
Oh, okay. But is it profitable in totality?
At this point,
The effort,
probably.
your effort, your producer's effort, your editing efforts.
Well, my producer quit, so
I know, but when it was accounted for,
it was probably close to break even.
Hmm.
Adventuresin.net isn't making money, and
many
they're
episodes?
about the same size.
Okay.
What?
So
Adventures?
80-20 here, right?
Yeah, Adventures in DevOps isn't. Clean Coders isn't. Actually, they have a sponsor right now too. Freelancer Show, I haven't been able to get that one sponsored for quite a while, or iFreaks, though they tend to be a little bit slightly bigger shows. Where are you at, dude?
I'm at WeWork.
Oh, WeWork.
So JavaScript Jabber, 60K a month. Ruby.
If you're going 80-20, JavaScript Jabber accounts for almost half of the downloads across the network.
So that's not 80-20 yet, right? So there is Ruby,
Right.
that's 20, and then Angular.
Ruby and Angular probably make up another 30%. So you're getting real close to 80 at that point.
Yeah, so that's it. That's right there. You're spending, and then how many other episodes? How many other episodes are you hustling on a weekly basis right now?
So I'm not a host on any of the other shows on a regular basis, except for possibly Freelancer Show when I'm needed there. I've already decided to cut Adventures in Machine Learning. It's not making any more money. It's really new. And I'm grinding a whole bunch of time to try and get it to ramp.
So you're getting
So-
100,000 downloads a month between JavaScript, Jabber, Ruby, and Angular, right? If you look at
Probably. Yeah. It's probably a little north of 100.
and you're probably getting $30,000 episodes from all of the 30,000 downloads from remaining everything else.
It's probably closer to 40,000 or
Okay.
more. It's probably more than that because Freelancer Show and iFreaks, they really do have larger audiences. React Native Radio, which is the one that I sold, it was almost as big as Ruby Rogues and Adventures in Angular. So I would have kept that one running if I had. Yeah, I'm really tempted to cut. So iFreaks and Freelancer Show, though, have been really, really hard to get sponsorships on. So if we're talking revenue, they're on the block for sure.
Well, yeah. So
Um,
so two things you need to look at besides just the size of the downloads. One is, like you said, is the revenue percentages. Like historically, what shows have gotten you the highest revenue, because subject matter does matter, not just
Mhm.
the downloads, right? Some subject matters are more valuable than others. So
right.
at a CPM level. And then the second thing is the trajectory or growth of the podcasts, right? So
Right.
are there ones, like if you look at the growth, are there ones that are currently growing, and or which ones are leveled off? Because you don't want to kill the growing podcasts.
Right. Well, machine learning is so new that it's growing just because we're getting people to it. Now, is it going to make me money? Is it going to make a difference? I mean, it's sucking up time because I've had to show up for it every week.
Yeah,
Well,
but if it's growing, then that's a good, then I
Well, this
wouldn't
is where
visit.
you like, I feel like you're in a phase of the business where you need to be spending 50%, 50% of your time on selling,
Yeah.
on selling related activities, if not more. So the question is, are you able to do that for any of these shows right now or in your business overall? Because if you're not able to spend at least 50% of your time on marketing and sales, I'm not saying marketing the show. I'm
Mhm.
saying building your marketing systems and sales systems to bring in money, right?
Right.
I'm not saying growing the revenue. That's the front end marketing. Yeah, important. But the real key is the sales. Because I already know, like, if you have a machine learning audience, there are plenty of ways to make money. Satya, my friend who has the OpenCV, who's the founder of
Uh-huh.
the CEO of OpenCV, he has a course that he sells, right?
Right.
And you can probably hook up with him and find a way to sell that course to your audience. But the problem is, you can do it ad hoc, but you can never really do it sustainably because you don't have that time available to you. But if
Right.
you literally decided to spend 50% of your existing daily time, which would be like whatever, I don't know how much time you've left now with all the stuff, but if you were a full-time entrepreneur and doing just one thing, I would say like you should be spending at least 20 hours a week on selling.
Right. So I guess the question is if I change my focus over to Podcast Playbook and the stuff over there, then what do I do with DevChat? Because then I'm facing the same split focus issue again, right?
You're only creating more problems for you if you keep everything alive.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a possible solution. You take all the podcasts that you have, okay?
Uh-huh.
You don't shut them down. Instead, what you do is you find someone who's willing to take them all over, and you become a partner with them in that business. Then they run that business. You're basically a silent partner and an advisor to the business, but you have some ownership, and then you pursue your new business.
Well,
I mean,
that. He's got so many different streams, like so many different styles or so many different things, right? So many different technologies.
Yeah.
But you could find probably someone that already has, look for people that have tech related podcasts that would be willing to take over, because then they can implement their processes and systems, and they're just adding your podcast to their lineup, but you're retaining
all of
some
this
ownership over
work,
this.
John, for all the podcasts that you have. Chuck, how many total podcasts you have now?
13, I think.
There's no way in hell you can run 13 podcasts and still spend 50% of your time on sales.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them weren't taking up a ton of my time just because Michelle was handling a lot of the logistics on them and I wasn't showing up to record them. So, they would kind of run without me for the most part.
Yeah. See, not having Michelle, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
I'm still inclined to believe that you need simplicity in your business right now. The complexity
Yeah.
is what's killing you, and the complexity of the business and all the different moving pieces. And even if Michelle was there, and even if your editor was working full time, and even if the business was streaming along, you would still have to question whether you want to keep all of these things alive, which will like, it's like death by a thousand paper cuts. You're constantly like, oh, do this for this one. Oh, you need this for this one. You think that I'm completely hands off, but you never are. There's always something or the
Yeah.
other that's there for this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. And all of those are like now alive and available. And now you are spending, you're spending micro resources from your
Yeah.
brain on each of these things. And that never allows you to generate sales for JavaScript Jabber or Ruby Rogues or Angular. Like that's where your focus should be. Like I have a podcast
Yeah.
network with 100,000 downloads a month or whatever it is. I don't know where you are right now, but if that's your singular focus, you would drive so much more than with so many podcasts. You're like deer in headlights with this.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm looking at doing, honestly, is putting most of the shows on hiatus except for JavaScript Jabber, Ruby Rogues, and Adventures in Angular, because those are the big ones.
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
And then what I'm looking at doing is, essentially putting a good deal of my focus into, doing all the stuff that I need to be doing for JavaScript Jabber, and just get that system figured out, because it does. And if I put everything else on hiatus, it's going to account for like 60% or so of the total downloads and things like that. And then I can document all that stuff in Podcast Playbook and use that as kind of, because that's really where I'm feeling like I need to be focused.
Okay.
But the things I'm doing for JavaScript Jabber and friends are things that I can document and stuff in Podcast Playbook.
Here's a question. Let me ask you this question. What do you need to make revenue wise in order to run DevChat TV, to run the entire podcast network? How much
as
more
it is
do you need?
now?
Yes.
Without paying myself anything?
Let's say without paying yourself anything, because you've got a job right now, but let's look at the minimum.
Let's see. Last time I ran through this, and I'm just going to be straight up. I'm just going to give straight numbers because I don't care anymore. And Michelle can't be mad at me for sharing what I was paying her. So I was paying Michelle $2,000 a month. I'm paying my editor about $500 a month. My hosting costs come in somewhere in the ballpark of about $500 a month. And those are the essentials.
Okay.
I was paying probably another couple $100 a month for services like scheduling software and CRM and things like that.
Okay, so
That's
5K would cover it for sure.
Yeah.
5K would easily cover it.
Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, well, I've got maybe a business proposition for you, but that's not what I was thinking. So here's what I am thinking though. Why don't you contact Developer Media? I've got a contact there if you want. I'm sure you probably have a contact with them, right?
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
They're called. I think I've got the name right. Hold on. I think it's Developer Media, right? They run. They have a network of advertising for developers, for developer dev. Is it called Dev Media or shit? I just
Developermedia.com. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Developer Media. Hold on, let me just double check and make sure I'm giving you the right one. But I was just in contact with them, and I've worked with them in the past. Oh yeah, it's Developer Media. Okay, so I can send you a contact. I've got a contact with the vice president of sales there. So, so here's the deal, right? So they have a media network of. So basically, they do ads, an ad network. So think of like, Amazon's developer or Amazon's ad network, right? So
Mhm.
they have an ad network specifically for developer related advertising. And so
Mhm.
at one point in my blog, like I ran banners from them on my blog instead of Amazon banners. I ran developer media
Right.
banners, and they gave me a code and everything, right? So so what I'm saying is that they have a network of advertisers and then of properties in order to advertise on. So if you contacted them and you said, "Hey, look, here's what I got. I have a podcast network. Okay, I've
Uh-huh.
got 100,000 downloads a month, right? I'm reaching this many developers. Would you like to have exclusive rights to like to add basically my podcast network to your properties, and so you can advertise whatever you can fill my podcast slots. I have this many slots, across all this, right? And you can fill it however you want. You can run whatever ads that you want, but you will pay a rental fee from me to rent my podcast network to make it part of your advertising, right?
Right.
So essentially, and maybe you could ask them for $15,000 a month, right? And they
Mhm.
would probably pay that. I think that would probably be worth it to them, because they could probably fill
Yeah.
$30,000-$40,000 worth of business paying you 15K, right? I think that would be a solid deal. And then it's a solid deal for you because you're actually able to make enough money to even pay yourself something on it.
Yep.
And you can just work on growing the podcast network, because let's be honest, right? If I were to advise you on what you should do with the business, and I think Manny would probably say the same thing, I would say stop fucking around, just focus on sales. Like, just get a pipeline, just do a sales funnel, just continually focus on selling. But
Selling sponsorships or
selling
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 sponsorships.
sponsorships,
Yeah.
finding affiliate deals, anything that
But
will bring in money.
but it just doesn't seem to be your strong suit, and doesn't seem to be what you're really interested and passionate about. And maybe
Right.
that's why it's not your strong suit, because it you can do it.
Yeah.
You've done it in the past, but you're not going to do it to the degree that you need to, because you need to be like
Right.
90% focused on doing that. Because I truly feel if you were just 90% focused on doing nothing but sales, that even with everything and going on, you would still be able to fill up a lot of those slots and be successful there. But it seems like you don't want to do it, which is fine, but they do it, right? So they're experts in
Uh-huh.
it. So if you can partner with someone who can fill all those slots, and sure, maybe you could fill the slots yourself and make 40 grand a month off of it, but you don't have the, you're not going to do that. So instead, if you could make 10, 15 grand off of it and have them fill it, it's a win-win for both. And you can focus on what you're good at, which is growing the podcasts, growing the community, doing that kind of stuff, maybe even starting up new podcasts and getting those systems in place. I think that could be something that could solve your whole problem there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. And yeah, maybe I do need to just turn around and just go whole hog on finding sponsors.
And even
I mean,
here's another possibility, right? So I would contact Developer Media, but again, let's say that, and I'll just throw out a name of a company, but it could be any big company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suppose you took the same offer to Microsoft or IBM or something, and you said, "Hey, look, instead of you sponsoring, individual podcasts and running ads and stuff, what if my entire podcast network is brought to you by Microsoft or brought to you by
Mm-hmm.
Qualcomm or whatever it is, right?
Right.
And you say, all I want for this is 15 grand a month. That's it. And you own my entire, you could it's sponsored, like you're basically sponsoring the entire thing. Like no one else will advertise on it. We're going to put whatever message you want on there. I mean, that know why I'm saying that is because my alternative business deal for you, if you don't want to do any of that stuff, is shit. I'll pay you 10 grand to have exclusive rights for you run the entire podcast. And I get to sponsor it 100%. And I get to put whatever ads I want in every single podcast. To me, that's easily worth 10 grand because I can make more than 10 grand off of that. So if I can make more than 10 grand off of it, Microsoft can, and IBM can, and Developer Media can.
So John, how many downloads guaranteed do you need from Chuck for you to say, I will pay 10K per month for it?
100,000.
100,000 a month. If you will pay Chuck 10K a month.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck, you don't even need to be running the podcast at that point.
Yep.
You might as well sell the podcast to John for $10K a month as the deal.
Well,
Yeah.
but it's better if you look at someone like Developer Media or IBM, like from your perspective, because they'll probably pay you more, and
Right.
then they'll be able to grow. Like as you grow, you'll be able to ask a higher price.
Yeah.
So John, so now this is where we were 3 weeks ago when we were talking offer versus audience, right?
Uh-huh.
We were talking offer versus audience, and of course, both have their crucial value here. Chuck's got the audience, but the struggle is not having the perfect offer, which is creating so much strife right now, right? Because if there was an offer, you would be making money right now and you would be totally fine, right? The sponsorships wouldn't really affect you as much because you could have plugged in your own offer into 100,000.
Yeah, and that's what I'd like to get to, honestly.
Well, that's what you would like to get to, but you've been there. Like you've tried different offers. The question is, why has that offer not worked?
I'm not sure what you mean. Tried different
Because
offers.
you tried, like you had the book, you tried some course. Like what happened? What happened in this journey that the offer hasn't converted yet? And what I'm trying to say is, once you get good offer working, what John's saying is basically the same situation as you are in, right? John can convert an ROI positive with 10K a month because he can advertise Simple Programmer and maybe Bulldog Mindset or whatever it is, and get that audience into his business. And you, because there is no product or there is no clear offer, the struggle is like you just have audience and there's.
Yeah.
Remember, John, that conversation?
Yeah.
Chuck
Yeah.
has the audience, but without the offer, the business struggles.
Well, that's why I'm saying that I would be willing to pay 10 grand just for the audience, is because I can come up with an offer that will work.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Chuck could come up with an offer that would work. You would
If
just have
Chuck,
to.
if Chuck puts on that hat and says, right, 100,000 downloads a month, if I can get 2% of those into my email list, that's 2,000 email subscribers a month coming in through different opt-ins, et cetera, and what would be a singular universal offer that would appeal to all of these audiences that I could sell to. And you can only sell, I would say you should only be selling at this stage where you are at. I would sell something from $500 to $1,000 ongoing program of high touch where you are involved, because you don't have the time to fuck around with courses right now, because you don't, even though you have an audience, the course volume is not going to be enough for you to actually make money for a serious period of time.
Right. So
The
you're
course
saying like a $500 per month? Is that what you're saying?
If you had an offer that was $500 to $1,000 a month, ongoing mastermind coaching, high touch offer, and you just need, like, if it's $1,000 a month, you just need 10 people to raise their hands and sign up for that shit. That's it. That's like, you can be back in this business and let go of a lot of the other craziness that has got you all wrapped up now. Right?
Okay.
It's the lack of a higher price point offer that does not even convert, that's got you all now messed up.
Okay, hybrid approach. So contact, like I said, Developer Media or some other companies, pitching what I said before, like maybe 15 grand or so a month.
Right.
But then also reserve for yourself the exclusive right to put one ad onto each podcast episode of your own, not of anyone else's, but only for your own, right? They'll agree to that. That's not a big deal. Then that buys you the time, because now you can get the money to be able to run and run the podcast network and to hire someone back to be a producer. And you can now spend that time developing your product and testing it out. And then once you're ready to go, then you can you can advertise it on your own network, right? And
Yep.
you can still keep the deal with developer media or whatever,
Right.
because having multiple slots doesn't matter. For like,
Yeah.
if you advertise your thing on one episode on one slot on every episode, that'll be the maximum that you can really do anyway. So you get the best of both worlds.
Here's what you do. Here's my take on this to add to what John's saying, the other side of the spectrum. I'm trying to figure out what's the perfect offer for your audience, which is so varied, right? Java, Ruby, Angular, like 13 different technologies there. What would be something that people would pay you $1,000 a month for? People who are in the technology industry.
Well, honestly, I mean, the thing that I've been looking at is kind of this most valuable developer. And essentially it's, hey, here's a program to help you level up, to help you, move along in your career, get paid more, get better positions, ask for raises, contribute more to open source, all of those things that kind of feed back into people being successful.
Yeah.
Okay. John's program, How to Market Yourself as a Software Developer, basically is what you're trying to do here. In maybe
kind of.
It's not just business skills, you're also teaching everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So build, like what you're trying to do is you're saying, join my program and I'll help you become a better, help you climb the ranks of your development.
I'll help you become a top 5% developer, in-demand developer.
Well, top 5% developer. Well, call it, that's the name.
Yeah, top 5% developer club.
Yeah. And call it a mastermind. Build a mastermind.
I think like somewhere between $300 to $500 a month.
Yeah. I was looking at something in that range.
Yeah. You have to charge hundreds of dollars. You can't be charging 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 one-off products, because you just don't have the systems and processes at this stage to be able to run that kind of business anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But if I get 10 people at $400 a month, I mean, that does pay for party.
Yeah. And I would target like 10 people, $400 a month. I would be running 5 of these groups.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking at is, I mean, if the demand goes way up,
so the way I would approach this, and this is the strategy that I would take in this regard, I would throw out on all of your podcasts right now 15-minute calls. You say, hey guys, I'm planning to help you guys up-level your careers. I'm planning to put together a program where I will help developers get into the top 5% of their career and become one of the top 5% developers in their career. And if you're interested, sign up for this 15-minute call with me. And it is not a sales call. And I will only make it available for the first 50 people who sign up, because I want to understand where you're coming from, what your pain is, and if this program would be something that, if I'm trying to design the perfect program and I want to talk to you.
Right.
So what you really want to do is you want to learn from the market as to what it is that they would pay for, right? You need to do at least 20 to 30 calls. Maybe they all come from JavaScript, Java, maybe they come from Ruby, but it doesn't matter. You have to use the authority you have built up in their minds. Like, you have to use the fact that you are somebody in their minds and leverage that to build out a real product to consumers. So we can talk offline about it, but really you need to be able to talk. You need to talk to your customers. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Not customers, but your listeners. Get 20, 30, 40, 50 of them on the phone, talk to them, really understand what their pains are, what their struggles are. Maybe they want to launch a podcast. Maybe they want to market themselves maybe they become a top 5% developers by launching their own podcast and becoming the authority in their niche. And you show them how to do that. And you say, the developer podcast mastermind, or the top 5% developer podcast, where I will show you, or the mastermind, where I will show you how to become the go-to guy in the industry by having your own podcast. So you can always demand the highest rates and the highest prices in your industry.
Yep.
Right. If you made that offer to a developer who's making $200,000 and he feels stuck in his career, and you're like, I will show you how to up level and how to become the go-to guy in Silicon Valley on this, they will pay you $10,000, $20,000 easily.
Oh yeah.
But you have to get to the right pain and you have to address that with the outcome. And that's not gonna, like, you can't dream it up.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Steve Jobs trying to create iPhone. You really have to talk to people. That's my
Yeah,
take.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So if I could just pull that together and kick it off.
Within a month, you could be making, you could have this offer running and collecting money within a month.
Yeah.
But you have to take this rather customer-centric approach rather than just come up with the offer yourself and then try to sell it, because you don't know if it will sell. But if the customer is telling you that I will be willing to pay $1,000 a month if you help me set up my podcast and become the authority in my field, you have to sell the opportunity.
Yep.
You have to sell the opportunity. Right now, what you are trying to do with the podcast playbook is selling the opportunity to a large audience, but that doesn't really frame you as anybody.
Right.
But if you sell the opportunity to a very niche audience, which is developers,
right.
all those who are listening to podcasts, they know the value of podcasts. They love the fact that they're listening to you and they like you. They're like, shit, if I could have something like what Chuck has, and if I just go to any industry and I'm like, here's my podcast, listen to it and let me know if you want to talk about hiring me or something like that. There is something there. I'm just giving you ideas on what's possible, but there is, if you have to think high ticket, you have to think high touch, and you have to think fewer people who will pay for it, a very specific end result that you can get for them.
Right. That makes
sense. And you can do it very quickly. I believe you can, by January, you could get $10,000 a month coming into the business just from a mastermind of this level, but not from Podcast Playbook. That's just like starting from scratch. You're building the whole thing from scratch. You're building an audience from scratch. They don't know you. You have no authority in that field. Now you have to leverage the authority of a business that already exists. Here, you're actually doing the same thing as what you were trying to do with Podcast Playbook, but in your own realm where you're the top dog.
Right.
So you're not like, oh, I'm just some new guy doing this. You're like, hey, you guys have been listening to this shit. You know how valuable this shit is, and you know how much trust you build when you listen to something like this. And if I need a job, I literally, like, people just, anytime I want one, I could get one, right?
Right.
So, I mean, not that you have to but take this, like, even if you had any kind of sponsorships or zero sponsorships, but you have this offer working and you have 10 to 20 people in your mastermind, then you have a lot more leverage to play with this business. Right now, you're basically handcuffed.
Yep. Yeah. And that's pretty much where I've come down is, I need to figure out what that offer is and pull something together on my own, because then I'm not beholden to the sponsors. I'm not beholden to this other garbage. Right. I go stick up for another one of my podcast hosts. I would comes at me again.
I would just seriously consider a mastermind, nothing less than $1,000 a month, and get 10 people in it.
You really think I can get $1,000 a month?
Phone sales, one-on-one phone sales. It's not going to be a sales page. It'll be phone sales. It'll be a Zoom call like this, talking, understanding their problems, because that's the highest conversion. You really need 10 people out of your 100,000 listeners. You can find those, but you're going to do phone sales. You're not going to do sales pages, man.
Right.
Sales pages and all that stuff, that's later down the line. Right now, just close them on the phone.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the highly unautomated approach, but you got to learn to sell and close on the phone, get 10 people in the door, then you can worry about everything else. Because once you have those 10 people in the door, you have a sense of stability that you probably haven't felt in a long time.
Yeah, I'm still inclined to put it somewhere closer to 500 a month.
I mean, if someone's making $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year in Bay Area, and you have the value proposition of saying, I will put you in the top 5% of your space with the power of podcasting. I don't know, man. Like I would charge higher just so that they would actually do the work and get the results.
Yeah, I think you and I are kind of envisioning targeting different markets, right? Because I'm thinking of people kind of a step or two down from them that want to be at that 200,000 mark. And
Yeah,
they're
Even if someone's making 100K, they can afford $1,000 a month to up-level their career to make another $20,000 next year.
Yeah, I would start at the 500 and fill those up first, though.
yeah. Well, I
Well,
could fill up a group with the 500s and then raise the price and do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, well then float it like, well, first you talk, make the offer on the phone to the first few who are ready to buy and tell them, I'm only going to make this to the first 10 people. After that, the price goes up, or the first 5
Yeah.
people, or because you're on the phone, I'm going to make this offer to you. When the next person joins, the price goes up.
Yep.
Take it or leave it, right? When the next person joins, the price, literally price, you can use it as a price weight, like as an urgency to keep like trending up. Say, hey, every time someone joins, I'm going to raise the price. So your choice. You want to join right now? You want to join later? Do whatever you want, right? But you can lock in at this price. You really need a high ticket offer to stay in this business. You cannot take sponsorships. I don't know when you are going to get them, and you don't really have that wheel churning right now. It's going to take another 2 to 3 months to again start churning that, and I don't feel like you are feeling that excited about running those sponsorship calls. But this, man, just get 50 people on a phone call. Right? Talk to them. Hey, I'm thinking of this program. This is the exact end outcome. First, talk to them about their pains, their fears, their frustrations, like what's stopping you in your career. What do you think could help you? And then give them this possibility of a solution and say, okay, I'm thinking of this. Like, would you be interested?
Yeah.
But make it a point to talk to,
No, I was gonna say that's good. I think that's good.
Yeah. Make it a point to talk to like 20 to 50 at least within the next week or two. Because with the audience size you have, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, that's true.
It should be as simple as like, hey guys, I'm thinking of creating a program which will help you take you into the 5%, top 5% of your field. If you are interested, sign up for a 15-minute strategy session with me. This is not a sales call. I will not pitch you anything. I just want to know exactly what you're going through so I can design the perfect program. And make sure you don't pitch anything. Just
but then I can come back to them with something later.
Exactly. Once someone has like told you their pain and you have kind of learned their pain and you're like, okay, let me come back to you and I'll give you the solution. Then like it is real. Like you've actually taken the time to understand them and you're creating something for them rather than just be like, this is my offer, do you want it or not want it? Then you're like, well, people don't really care as much as let me learn from you and then I'll go create something that works for all of us.
Right.
Or you personally, that's what you would say. Like it has to work for that person. That's what you. So, and that's the way you charge higher premium. You cannot. I would not say 500. I would still say 1,000 because you really want to get 10 people, 1% of your 0.1% of your audience. Really, all that you need. No, 0.01%. No, 1% would be 1,000. 0.1% would be 100.
100.
0.01% would be 10 people. There is 0.01% of your audience that will pay you $1,000 a month.
That's true, for sure.
That is true.
You just have to have the right offer for them.
Right.
And you only figure that out by talking to them.
Makes sense.
I would still do the
the advertising thing.
Yeah, like in conjunction, because I think that will get you out of the trouble right away, and you won't have to kill your podcasts.
Yeah, it'll get me much further toward out of the woods, because at that point I can hire and train the people I need to just run it for the 10 grand, and then anything I bring in from the coaching or 15 grand or whatever.
I'll talk to Developer Media. I'm communicating with them about an article that they're putting together. So I'll talk to my contact there and I'll suggest the idea. I'll see if I can get you guys in contact. I'll kind of pitch it to her first and then connect you guys if we can get that going. But
sounds good. I've still got to pull together this summit because I've got a whole
Yeah,
bunch of
I mean-
people leaning on it. So yeah,
Do it, but I wouldn't make that the new business. Just do what you had to do,
Yeah.
be done with it, and then move on to building this out for yourself. Because otherwise, you're just
yeah.
spending too much energy on too many things. Okay.
This
No,
is-
I agree.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
perfect.
this is-
That subheadline is great.
Okay.
That's what I was looking for. Break free from the shackles of mediocrity.
Yep.
Okay. Boom. Now it's much cleaner. I feel it too.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that
Yeah, it
looks,
has
yeah,
to-
that's way better.
Yeah, it has to speak to you in a way that like it has to give like I've probably written 100 titles in the last 2 weeks for this
Yeah.
thing.
Huh?
It's crazy. 100 titles and subtitles. Like I've gone through so many iterations of this shit. And I feel like until like someone, when I'm talking to you guys and you were like, yep, that's gripping, then I'm like, yeah, it's not there yet. It's not there yet. And I'll
Yep.
keep doing it. Like I literally talked to my girlfriend, I talked to Tim, I talked to you guys. I kept on iterating. It's like copy is like such a fucking pain sometimes because you keep trying and keep
Yeah.
trying, keep trying till it hits you. And John's feedback yesterday was like really, or day before when you said, yeah, it's not at all like I don't feel anything. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
If he doesn't feel anything, it's over. Like that's just not gonna work. Like until I can get you to feel, it's over.
Yep. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I'm looking
Yeah, this
forward
looks
to
good.
promoting.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
really good.
The book summary packs. And then, and by the way, what I started doing was one of the things I did was I started breaking down Ty Lopez's funnel and
Yeah.
his videos and stuff, like his front end webinars. So literally I transcribe all of his sales videos, quote unquote webinars.
Mm-hmm.
I just throw the link into my Temi or whatever to get the
Right.
transcriptions. And then I started seeing that Ty Lopez has probably produced like at least 30 to, at least the ones that I've seen so far, 30 to 50 straight up sales videos on YouTube. So these are
Wow.
webinar style videos on YouTube that have like hundreds of thousands of views that he has done. Maybe even more, maybe more like 100. Hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands of views. And these are like hour-long videos where he's talking about, the 67 steps to getting anything you want in life, health, wealth, and happiness, right? Literally hour-long seminar, hour-long webinar, and all that is, all of his focus is on selling his programs. So many videos. He has so many videos on selling. I did not realize how much he sold through very long videos, not just short videos, not just like, hey, here's the stuff, bye, but literally hour-long webinars that he has put up on YouTube again and again and again and again and again. So here we are talking to Chuck about like the fact that he has to focus on sales for 50%. Like, yeah, more like 90%. So I just dropped you the link. You want to click on it, take a look, see if there's
Okay.
anything else you want to improve.
The only thing I would say is that you need a button to buy near the top.
Right here. As in,
like above the fold.
why would you say that?
Because some people already just want to buy it. They're convinced already because you remember you're pitching this via emails. So they want the thing.
That's interesting.
And they might not realize that you're actually selling anything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, because they have to scroll down pretty far to see that there's actually a buy button so they could just think it's an article. So if you put the sales button up, I think that
So
will,
maybe even here, like a traditional sales button on a lot of pages.
not at the very top, but like maybe right after the guy banging his head.
Above the fold is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, I think that at least that's. I mean, you can look and see how other people have done it, but I would put it
Okay.
somewhere near the very beginning.
Okay. All right.
Is this on WordPress?
Yeah,
So it's not on like Thrivecart or anything. It's a page in
it is on
WordPress.
Thrive. It's on Thrive Themes.
Oh, Thrive Themes. Yeah, you use their page builder or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just get. Other than that, it looks good.
Yeah. Okay. I will look at how to put a sales button there. I'm going to have to. Do you have any example sales pages where that's working?
I think I did that for the Bulldog Mindset one. Let me see.
That's like a video, right? It's by the video.
Oh no, it just here. Just take a look at this. I'll drop it in. Okay.
So this is the sales page to like your entrepreneur, your big long pack.
Yeah, the big pack of all
yeah.
my summaries of not entrepreneurship, but personal development.
Right.
Entrepreneurship is separate.
And
Okay.
these comments, what are they from?
What's
These
that?
comments.
Yeah,
The
the ones in
testimonials?
Yeah.
These are from our own, like inside the course area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't recognize the style on the comment.
Yeah. People's comments as they send it over in the course area or whatever. So this is a non-video sales letter, huh?
Yeah.
You guys also have a video sales letter.
Yeah, we've got some variations of it. I think one for ads that we had running, but
Do each of these have a title, or is it like all the learnings from that month that you put in there?
those are the titles of the learnings.
Yeah, so you approach it as like, this is the new stuff I've learned this month. Let me teach you. Not like this is the workshop of the month, which is a specific thing. Because there is being a man in a relationship and exact running routine. So these are very different things, right?
Right, because it alternates between the 4 subjects, right, of mindset, fitness, financial, and then relationship or social skills.
Is this a course or is this just
Which one are you looking at, Chuck?
Bulldog Mindset? This is month 1, month 2, month 3.
It's the membership. It's
Right.
sort of like laid out that way, like a course, because all of that is already there, right? So when you join, you get
that's what I
the
thought.
previous like 18 months worth of content that's there. So it just keeps on growing.
Good stuff. What's up?
If she's looking at you twirling her hair and she can't take her eyes off you to put to drink the coffee, you're doing okay.
I do not have any anxiety whatsoever. You can go in right now. Oh man, nice. But you also have the VSL version of it, right?
I don't think, I'm not sure where we're using that now.
Oh, so you're using this primarily these days?
Yeah, that's the primary one.
So you like this better than the VSL conversions, or is it
Yeah.
just a test?
It's hard to know. I mean, I get about like about 5 to 6 conversions per day. So
Hmm. Well, on
But
a
I-
monthly, if you did a monthly split, you would know.
yeah, if we did a split test on it, I suppose, but I don't think it's going to make enough of a difference that it's going to matter that much. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, you have the yearly offer now. I like it.
yeah,
That's
not
awesome.
not too many uptakes on the yearly though, I find. So
How
it's,
much? How many? What percent?
I would say that it's like less than 10%.
That's good. I mean, you just increase your cart value
Yeah.
tremendously.
Yeah. Well, most
10%.
people are coming in on the $7 offer actually. So let me
Yeah.
see what that one is. Like here, that's probably a different page. Let's see what. Okay, yeah. So actually, this one has the video. So this is where most sales are actually coming in from this,
From
what I just sent you, and that does have a video, but it still has a start your trial here
Mm-hmm.
at the very beginning. So
oh yeah. Okay, so it's off the video. Okay.
yeah, it's a pretty similar sales page, right? It's a little, I guess it's a shorter, because it's just pitching the trial. So I wonder how many come in from trial versus full membership.
You're wasting a
them
lot
are
of
gonna come in
space
trial.
here. We're wasting a lot of space here.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And even this, like, if there's a way to like, because then you can have it,
Yeah, so it's all.
you could have all of this
full.
fit into above the folds.
Yeah,
And
Your
you don't
pictures,
need
dude.
to be-
yeah.
You don't need to be. You don't need this to be in caps
Why?
because caps are hard to read.
I don't know. I feel like that adds to it by having that in caps, but
You think?
yeah, I don't know. I haven't designed any of this, so
Oh, okay. Tim.
yeah.
Hmm. Caps are hard to read, is what I think. But interesting. So this is so it's VSL and text.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the stats to see how it's converting yet. I think I want to see when I started yearly membership for Black Friday last year. So we'll see a bunch of renewals should come up and the revenue should go up quite a bit on that.
Man, why are you hiding those testimonials?
What do you mean? Instead of putting them near the top?
Yeah,
I don't know.
dude. Testimonials sell more than anything else,
Yeah, you think they should be higher up on the page?
especially if they're video testimonials of people like talking you up. Hell,
Yeah, maybe I'll
Yeah.
tell Tim to move some of those up.
like Gregory probably has a great one for you. Like
Yeah.
these are your direct coaching clients. Sanjay, direct coaching client. Johnny Thompson, direct coaching client. Like these guys, they have solid testimonials. They should be good testimonials for you.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
they're pretty good. So
Yeah, they should be on the top. Like I think they would be right after this. Start your free trial and then boom, 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 boom. Look at the results that people are getting. And
yeah,
then all the other stuff would come here.
Yeah, I mean, you can put some things in there like here are the results, kind of where you're speaking directly to their pain, right? But yeah, then it's look at the results these people are getting. And then you
Yeah.
put all the social proof a little further down as far as like here are the books and all the other stuff that I've done that yeah.
Yeah, man. These testimonials, especially, yeah, they're not very long, so it's good. It's not you don't really
Yeah.
need that much listening time. 3
I've got
minutes.
a company that professionally produces the testimonials.
So they did this for you?
They did they recorded the testimony, except for Gregory did his own, I think. But most of these ones, like you'll see, there's little intros and outros for them.
And how much you pay them? You said they're 3-minute long testimonials. Okay.
I pay them $300 a month for for them to basically give me unlimited. I can send them people, and then they will contact them and then record them and then send me the edited videos.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much work to interview someone about the before and after and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like $300 a month, and I signed like
how
a
many
year
people-
contract with them.
Yeah, but the
Oh,
other
what-
thing is
year-long
realistically,
contract?
how many people are you gonna send to them?
I've pushed a lot through because on the coaching page, there's a bunch of testimonials that are for coaching.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I guess these have combination of coaching but
Yeah, man, this is a lot of testimonials. You should definitely be playing them up. Like, this is too late in the game.
yeah, I need to really like get this on Instagram advertising too with the testimonials.
Oh, well, are we going to start talking about advertising again here, John?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. Not ready yet. So
Oh, man.
I got to get this book
Advertise.
launch going. It's funny with the soft skills book. I just had
Mhm.
a Russian publisher reach out to me because they noticed it was on Amazon. I haven't even announced it yet, and they're
Mhm.
like, "Hey, we want the rights to the Russian version. We did the translation for." So I've got my my agent gonna negotiate the deals with them, but
Which book?
for soft skills, for the second
Soft
edition of
Skills.
soft skills, because they
Okay.
published the first edition of soft skills. So the first edition of soft skills, I think, was published in like 10 different languages. So
Uh-huh.
I'll get a contract probably from each one of those publishers, which will be good because it'll like it's like immediate revenue. Like if I sell
Right.
publishing rights to 10 different foreign publishers, it'll probably be worth like 60 or 70 grand.
Are you planning to, like, have you stopped all advertising again?
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't even heard from them. I'm probably gonna have to axe this company too because I haven't heard shit from them in a while now.
What were they
You've
supposed
had
to
the
do?
worst luck, dude.
I know, it's just
Well, I still believe that if you're gonna get advertising to work, the first $10,000 of money, you got to make it yourself.
yeah, I'm gonna.
Because that's when you really fine tune, like you find your audience, you find your product being sold. Like you have to sell the damn thing yourself using advertising before you get these people to do it. Because they don't know how to get product market fit. They're just useless at that shit. These agencies, they just know how to buy traffic and send traffic to you, but they can't really get, like, converting cold audience is a new game. Like they don't know how to do it unless you have done it before. And you're like, here it is, go do 1,000 times more of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably true. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. Like, what I'd really like to do is play the long game with advertising and just spend the advertising dollars on getting exposure, and then having people organically buy. Like, if I can increase my exposure rather than trying to direct sell through there, because yeah, I don't know.
I am at a point where once I launch this this mastermind that I'm working on and the accelerators, the two accelerators, the success accelerator and the business accelerator, kind of like the entrepreneurship pack and the personal development pack. That's it. I'm going to be putting all of my energy into advertising.
Yeah.
Like literally taking all of my energy from everything else, just advertising, because my team is doing the book summary part now. Even though it's slow, it's working enough to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'll let them keep doing the book summaries. I'm not that involved anymore with the summaries. I mean, I am involved. I still spend like 10, 15 hours a week on it. But the remaining time I have, I want to spend all of that 20, 30 hours on marketing and advertising. Not now advertising, not just marketing. Because I feel like because man, I keep looking at these trends. Like I keep analyzing every single person that I look at, like who has had decent growth. And yeah, you can do it through organic methods. You can do it through finding distribution channels. You can do it by building the audience yourself. And you can do it by like doing the hand-to-hand combat of marketing and like Dream 50, Dream 100, all of that stuff. Yes, totally possible, totally doable. It will work. But the accelerate, almost 99 times of 100 is ads.
Yeah.
Like once you have an offer that converts, you gotta go buy ads. You gotta freaking go ballistic on that shit. You just can't keep waiting for it because it just like it's so slow. Everything else is way slower. But if you have an offer that converts, that you know is a solid offer from your point of view and it's converting well, I don't, I feel like ads are the only way at this point to grow ballistic. Otherwise, organic is good. Organic is good, slow growth. It's never going to be ridiculous growth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's true. I think that's true. Yeah.
Organic is good, steady growth, and it will always be there. Like you can always bank on it to bring you the basic money.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want like crazy growth, then so I know you don't really like the guys at VShred, but
VShred, is that a gym?
Because they're completely fraudulent.
They're not fraudulent. Man.
They
They're
are
selling-
fraudulent. It's entirely fraudulent. Like the information that they give out is completely wrong. And not only is it wrong, they
Have you
know
signed
it's
up-
wrong.
Have you signed up
it's
for their
missing.
program? And can you tell me?
I have seen their videos, and it is
have you signed up for their program?
blatantly incorrect information, and it is purposely deceptive.
No, but this is
And if
like-
I am saying that, it means something because
I
I
do.
like my gray area is large. I have a large gray area, right? Like if I'm
But the thing
saying
is-
that about someone that I
So
mean,
this
I
is-
like Ty Lopez is in my gray area. They're not. They're in the black area, right? Like Ty Lopez, all these guys that people call scammers, they're in my gray area. These guys are in the black area. So
Who are they?
All right.
they're like a really
John's friends.
large fitness YouTube channel that
Oh,
No, YouTube. They're not even like YouTube is hardly their thing.
I don't know.
so do you like know them personally, or?
I think
know-
Manny does. Manny does.
I know
but-
the founders, two of the founders personally.
Yeah.
From back in the day. I have some history.
The back in the
but-
day.
No, but I have nothing. Like I am always looking for trying to understand what people are doing to grow their business. Like John's got his panties up in a wad trying to figure out why.
Well, because if you're willing to like completely misdirect the consumer and make false promises,
but which ad?
you
Like
can
I have watched a bunch of their ads, and I never felt like they were making such like bold claims or false promises. So that maybe you've seen some ads and you feel like that is the case, but I have literally watched their ads just to, and I didn't see like there was some ridiculous stupidity there. It was just like, oh, interesting. That's another. And the thing about health and fitness, it's like this. It's like me starting a channel and saying, veganism is the way to go. Veganism is the healthiest way to build your body. And you can be like, this guy is selling snake oil. He's selling crack. He's liar. He's a cheat. But no, I mean, it's almost like me going and saying Christianity is the way to go or Buddhism is the way to go. And you're like, that's such a fucking, snake oil salesman. Yeah, I get it. But, fitness is kind of like that people have different opinions.
it's not. It's just.
I'm gonna start a
straight up
fitness
scam.
channel. I've been
In
growing
fact-
these berries in my backyard, and oh my
just-
gosh.
yeah. It's a straight up scam, and not only that, if you just even look up their complaints, like they don't even like they have a 30-day trial and then they don't refund people and then they charge them even though they cancel the trial. It's just completely unethical business practices. And when they talk about, it's completely like their ads are completely deceptive information. Like it'll say like this is the way to lose fat, and they'll give completely incorrect science about fat loss. I mean, I'll look at one of their I'll dissect one of their videos if you'd like, but
Sure.
it's,
Pull it
Not
up.
here.
it's not
Not here.
debatable. It's not.
Pull it
It's not
up.
debatable stuff. It's not like people have different opinions. I understand what you're saying.
No, pull it up. Let's see. Because I would really like to understand. Because I feel like, some of their ads, they're pretty like straight up about, okay, this is the way it works in your body. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not the health genius like you are, but I never felt like, oh, they're just like total scamming me.
Okay, well, they are.
What do you think of-
that's the sad part about it is people aren't even aware of what of
Yeah, that's
why
what
the
I'm
information's
saying.
false.
Show me, you can go to facebook.com/ads/library to see their ads. and then you can pull up one of their ads. That might be the best way to go, because then you know the ads, what are they scamming people with.
Okay.
By the way, I love that Facebook did that. You go look at other people's ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
So let's see. VShred, they only have one ad running right now.
No. They have like,
I have to
says-
get off in 15, just so you know. I have an interview for the summit at noon.
just do search all.
I did search all. I'm searching for VShred.
Yeah, and then don't try to search. Wait till the name pops up below,
Hold on.
and then click on it.
Oh, okay. Hold on. It's not even showing up at all. They
Share your screen. Share your screen. I'll show it to you.
hold on. Okay.
You guys make me laugh.
All right. It's this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait. Yeah. See one ad.
No. Go
From
back to the
2019.
main facebook.com, because you got all these filters there. Okay. Search all. Go to search all. Not this. No. Up top next to issues.
Next to
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah. Housing. Then search all.
Hold
No.
on. Oh, sir. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, you're right. Okay, so I was only looking at election ones. Okay. So VShred ad. Okay. So let's
You got
see.
all the millions of ads.
I can't hear it at all.
You can hear it or you can't hear it.
I can't.
cannot.
You
guys can't hear it?
No.
Oh, is it
No.
not producing any audio or?
I think
I think
there's
it's
some
playing through your
Zoom
speakers.
setting. Yeah, Zoom setting that does not share computer audio.
Oh, I don't know where that setting is. Hold on. Audio settings. Okay.
Yeah.
There should be some automatically. I don't see anything to share the audio.
It's all good.
Okay.
I guess
Yeah.
we have to hear it in order for you to debunk it, but
Yeah, I don't see any way to. Oh, maybe it's in the sharing options. Hold on. I can't even get to the screen.
in Zoom,
Yeah. Is there?
I think you have to have something like Soundflower or something installed, and you can. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything that record. Stop. Share computer sound. Here we go. Okay. See if you can
Yeah.
hear it now.
It's on Zoom, right?
Actually,
Can you hear it now?
Yeah,
and unless they understand what that body type is,
Okay. Here, I'll
fastest way,
start from the beginning.
what's the fastest way from point A to point B? It's a straight line. What's the fastest way from where you're at right now to your dream body? It's a straight line. But the issue is when people try to get in shape, they follow the fad diets. They try low carb, they try low fat, they try the Atkins diet, and then they try doing a bunch of cardio, steady state cardio 7 days a week. And what happens is instead of going in a straight line, they jump back and forth on this diagonal line and get mediocre results so that they end up quitting. And they just think that nothing works for them when really they have a very specific body type, one of 3 body types actually. And unless they understand what that body type is and what to do for that body type, you're always going to struggle to get in shape. And that's why I made a free body type quiz that tells you what your body type is and the 3 most important things to do for your body type.
Okay. So the whole like mesomorph ectomorph thing, there's no difference in your diet or on your in the way that you work out based on your body type. So that's
I put
sorta-
on so much weight that I have all 3 body types.
If you want to check that out, you can click the button down below this video, click the link wherever it is. It'll take you to the quiz and I'll tell you exactly how to get in shape fast. So see you soon.
So that's probably not as bad, right? It's not horribly false information, but it is false information. Like, and anyone who knows anything about fitness knows that no matter what your body type is, you're not going to have different. You're not going to have different diets or exercise routine based on your body type.
You might, depending on what you can stick to.
Let's see what.
What's the
That's
fastest
what's gonna
way from
work.
point A to point B? It's a straight line.
Holiday
What's the
goes
fastest
on.
way from where you're at right now to your dream
Like
body?
the same audio.
It's a straight line. But the issue is when people try to get in shape, they follow the fad diets. They try low carb, they try low fat, they try the
It's the same
Atkins
audio.
diet, and then they try doing a bunch of cardio.
It's the same.
diagonal line
That's
and
what
get
they do.
figuring what that body
Yeah.
type is before your
So
body
stop
type.
it.
Oh yeah, it's the
Stop
same
it.
thing. They're
They
doing all
they
the
will
quiz.
take the same ad
Yeah.
and they will create like 50 different creatives around it, even it's the same damn
What's the fastest way? Low
Oh, yeah,
fat.
this
They
is
try the
same
Atkins.
too. That's interesting.
same. So they will create hundreds of creatives, hundreds of
What's
like
the fastest way from point?
Huh.
that's like their advertising in play. So like don't
What's
fall
the
for it.
fastest a week?
Yeah, they're all like the same.
Yeah, it's all see
Chances
listen,
that
we
you've
all
ever
know-
tried to get in shape.
Oh, this is
Whether that's to lose weight, whether that's to bulk up, or maybe just lean out, tone down, whatever it might be. But why haven't you achieved that? Why haven't you lost that weight? Or why haven't you put on that muscle? Why haven't you burnt that body fat off? Did you follow a low carb diet, a low fat diet? Did you try steady state cardio every single day and ultimately end up quitting because of the mediocre results? I hear that story pretty much every single day until people learn about their body type. Because when you do learn about your body,
Again, this is still the body type stuff. So
It's still,
Yeah.
by the way, look at the date. Just make sure you're looking at the date. They're all produced today. November
oh
19th.
wow, that's crazy. They're creating all these different creatives.
Yeah, their
Wow, it's like
testing is
never-
insane. They're
Wow.
running like $1 million, $2 million a month in ads right now, or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So all of these are like same. Like if you look at the dates, you've seen like probably 100 ads by now. They're all for one date.
Yeah. But anyway, from a short video, but if you look at the videos on their channel and then their VSLs, it's like,
What do you think of Thomas Dollar? Is he or Six Pack Abs? Six Pack Shortcuts?
he's legit. That guy is legit. I've had him on my channel before. I've had a discussion with him. He responds to criticism. A guy plates more dates looked at his blood work and basically accused him of being on steroids. But then he came on the guy's channel and they went over the blood work together and explained all the things. So he's perfectly legit. He's got a few questionable recommendations of stuff that he says, but he always explains why he recommends the things even though they're questionable, right? So he's always got everything backed by science, and so he's solid.
Yeah. Well, so all I was trying to say when we stirred up this part was that advertising is literally the only way that there is like the next level of growth to unpack.
Yeah,
It's
it would
very,
just be
like,
good to see like legitimate
Organic is
advertising.
just way too drawn out of an approach to build. I mean, it's a great way to build a sustainable, long-term, slow business, but it's just not the way to get explosive growth.
Yeah.
Explosion comes from cold traffic conversion and finding cold traffic and converting it. That's why the Shark Tank, you always see they don't invest in any business that doesn't know how to basically find and convert cold traffic.
Yep.
I know John's not impressed with this cold traffic shit.
I'll be impressed when I see someone legitimate actually using it and it working. Then I'll be impressed with it.
All right. I don't know what you call legitimate. Was
Well,
John Lee Dumas legitimate?
Yeah, but I want to see it working now. I don't see him running ads now. Is he running ads?
He does he's already retired. But
Sort of,
do you think
yeah.
Pat Flynn is legit?
Yeah, he's legitimate. Is he running ads right now?
Well, he's running ads quite a lot.
I don't see any ads. I'm looking him up on the, or is it
Well,
maybe it's under
I'm not
smart
sure if he's
passive
running-
income?
Yeah, I might try it. You can literally like this ad library, you can search for whatever you think whoever is not legit and see if they are.
So Pat Flynn has one ad from 2018, and he's
Yeah.
spent a total of $1,100.
Was it for FlynnCon?
It was for
No, you're
free
looking at the wrong thing
masterclass
then.
with 5. No, I'm looking at the right
Okay.
thing.
It might be
It was for a
smart
master class.
Yeah,
it might be smart passive income, not
Yeah, smart passive income. That's what I'm looking up. So
Yeah. Okay. How about
Noah Kagan.
sure? No, Kagan runs ads.
Yeah, he does. I see those all the time.
So okay, Dork. We'll look up. He's got a bunch of ads. November 16, 2020. He spent how much money? It's not showing how much money he spent on
No, they don't always show that.
ads, but
He's got quite a bit of ads running.
I think his ads are geared towards getting people to just to join his newsletter. So he's paying. He's not actually making money on the ads. He's spending money on ads to join his newsletter.
Okay. How about this? Let me try this. How about this girl named Sunny Lenarduzzi?
I don't know that person though.
She's a YouTuber.
I know,
She teaches YouTubing.
I want to see someone actually who's making money on ads show the money they're making on the ads.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to go open their books to do that. I'm just giving you random names here that I can't give you the books access to really prove it to you.
Well, it's like, I mean, I know a lot of entrepreneurs. I don't know any entrepreneurs that are making money on ads. Do you know any entrepreneurs that are making money on ads? I'm not saying it's
Show
not
me
possible.
the money.
I'm
right?
just saying, like within all of our circles, 6 degrees of separation or whatever, we don't have anyone that we could bring on. Let's say that we could bring on this podcast, and we could say, okay, show us your ads, and then show us your sales page, and show us like your shopping cart and the money you're making.
I
from those
definitely
ads.
have a lot of friends who are doing that. I will have to go. Like, it's not like it's on my top of my mind.
Well,
but-
bring someone on. Let's see,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I've got guys that claim to be making money on ads, like Kazi from Clever Programmer. Like he's spending money on ads and he's running ads. He thinks he's making money on ads, but I don't think he's making money on ads. He's making money. I don't think it's coming from the ads.
Well, come on. You've got all these like ideas as to what's working, what is truth and what's not true. You would have to look at their numbers to know for real. But
yeah, a lot of people are spending money on ads that aren't tracking their ads, though.
Yeah, that is true. There is no question about it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not working. As in, there's always going to be people like that who just don't know what the fuck they're doing with their money.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that we don't know anyone, right? I don't know anyone. You don't know anyone, right? Like
I know people. Of course, I know people. I know my friend Wesley, who sells a real estate software, and he's been running ads. He runs over $1 million a year in ads.
Yeah, but have you actually seen his actual funnel and actually seen his?
I've actually seen him share his like literal Facebook campaigns and his grow.com account where he shows like, this is how much money it came in, this is how much we spent. I've seen all of that shit.
Okay.
On a shared screen.
Okay. All right.
And I mean, if I asked him, he would show it to me right away. He's built his business off of ads.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I haven't seen it yet. So, I mean, it's not that I doubt that they exist. It's like, I know that,
I think the only person who's going to prove it to John is going to be me.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
John has to look at my Facebook ad account and see the money come in, and only then John will believe this shit. Until then, he's not going to believe it.
No, I mean, I know that albino elephants exist. I haven't seen one yet.
It's just, dude, like, to believe that ads don't work is like the most weird thing I've ever heard in my life. Really, I still can't get my head around the idea that you don't believe ads don't work.
Then make an ad and make it work. It's like, do it.
I have
Show
done
me a
it.
profitable ad on cold traffic, not on warm traffic. I know that retargeting ads quote work. Retargeting ads can never be proved to work. They're unprovable. It's bad science because it cannot be disproven. Anything that cannot be disproven is bad science. So
it creates more money. That's all I know.
that doesn't you don't know if those people would have bought anyway. You know, like so.
It's marketing is a game of repetition. I mean, you're talking attribution. Yes, attribution is always going to be a problem with.
But
marketing.
cold ads, cold traffic, convert cold traffic. Run an ad today. Put up an ad, and convert cold traffic.
I will. I
Okay.
will. Not right now because I'm not focused
Not
on
right-
that.
Okay.
But I
all right.
will.
Someday when you do, show me it. I would like to see it. Because I've run a lot of cold traffic ads, a lot with 3 different agencies now. and
No,
on
that's
my
not
own,
you.
And I have not seen one sale.
That's not you because if you were running it, you would make it work. These agency guys, I don't trust any of the agency guys to know anything. You hired random ass agency guys who have no idea what they're doing. They're actually spending your money to learn on your dime.
So I don't
I don't-
believe profitable ads exist, and you don't believe
don't-
profitable, like competent agencies exist. So
I believe competent agencies exist, but only after you have made your ads work, you've broken even, you're at least spending $10,000 and you've made $10,000 work. When you can show me that, then yes, an agency can take it from there. But if you can't get your product to convert on cold traffic through ads, John, you are saying that over the last 100 years, the advertising agency or the whole thing
I
doesn't
need
do
to
anything.
start wrapping up, guys.
okay, we should start wrapping it. I'm
Stop
not
it,
saying
Chuck.
that. I'm saying that when you're selling a physical product, that paid advertising works.
Yeah, this is a higher trust
But when
situation,
you're not
and you
selling a
have to
physical
do
product, it doesn't work.
you have to work on the trust part of the equation to get the sale.
And that brand advertising is probably really what works, and people don't even know it because you can't quantify it. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's like I said, it's like a unicorn. Like I'm sure that there's some unicorns that exist out there in this Facebook land, but I just haven't seen any of them yet. So
Oh my God.
it's so simple though. Okay, just run an ad. If you could prove me wrong, just run an ad. Take an
It's
ad,
like saying
make
like
money
saying-
from the ad.
I have made money from ads. There's no question about it.
No, to cold traffic. Make
Well,
money
it's
from
like
an ad.
saying just go and start a YouTube channel and make money from YouTube channel by selling your course and show it to me.
Yeah,
that'll
I can
take
show
a
you.
lot
I'll
of
show
time.
you that.
That'll
I'll
take a
show-
lot of time. It won't happen from the day you start your YouTube channel. It will take some time to get that to work. That's the problem. And you are discounting that. Of course, I sell shit ton of courses from YouTube today. But if I were to tell someone, hey, start a YouTube channel today and you need to make a sale in the next 7 days, that'll be freaking hard work, man. Or even a month. Because they just, all of those things don't work here.
Okay.
Yeah, they
I'll
can
give
do
I'll give
retargeting.
you 6 months to make money from ads.
All right. Next year, when I started, then we'll
Okay.
talk about it.
All right. All right. I guess we should do our thoughts for the day.
Probably.
Are you guys tired of it yet?
No, but Chuck's got to go. I got to go too. I got to get some work done.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm thinking.
I mean, for me, my thought basically, and this is what I've been kind of struggling with all week, is because I've really felt like I need to be doing the podcast playbook stuff. But I feel like I have all my traction over in the dev chat space, right? And we've talked through a lot of this. I mean, there's no big surprise or anything there. But essentially where my thought is heading is I think it's healthy to get to that place where, yeah, you reevaluate periodically, right? And, the reevaluate took me to where, because it's been this sequential thing, right? So I started working on Podcast Playbook. I started putting together the summit. I started working on some of this other stuff that started the conversation with you guys about where to go from here. And I don't think it got as serious as it did until I was actually looking at like cutting way back on dev chat and making some really tough decisions to where we kind of went, okay, let's completely reevaluate the direction. Right. And so it's been a struggle and then another one and then another one and then another one. And what I'm finding is that sometimes that's going to be the way it is, right? It's not going to be this, oh, dig in through the slump for a few months and then you're going to come out the other side. Sometimes it's going to lead you to something else that you need to be looking at. And the other thing is that I didn't give up, right? I didn't quit and give up. I didn't just say, hey guys, I'm out. I'm not entrepreneuring anymore. I'm just going to do this full-time job thing and, boo-hoo. And I think if you keep going and keep trying and keep thinking about where you're headed, it can lead you down this kind of a path where eventually you kind of get to a place where you're going, yeah, that makes sense. That's a great idea.
I would say, for me, I would say take one step at a time. Just do what you need to do. I don't know if I said the same thing last week. I can't remember, but maybe I did. But regardless, that's been the thing I've been trying to do with this running. And I mean, it sucks sometimes because you're not going to be able to necessarily get done what you want to get done, but you can only do what you can do. So you have to just put your effort forth at what you can do. And then, a lot of things are going to be outside of your control. You can only push, but it's your job to just take every step that you can take. And that's it. Everything else is outside of your control. If you've done that, you've won, you've succeeded, because, a lot of life is up to luck. You can't control luck, but you can control doing the right action repeatedly. And if you repeatedly do the right action, you'll eventually get the result, or you'll have the highest probability of getting a result. That's the best guarantee that exists in life. So the focus has to be on right action.
Yeah, I think just to add on to that a little bit, sometimes what happens is, it's stuff that's beyond my control, stuff that I really couldn't handle, but all the other steps made it so that I was resilient or adaptable to whatever it was. And so then, okay, it sucked. It was outside my control, but the fact that I was in a place or wasn't in a place to be able to deal with it, that was within my control.
Yep.
I want to talk more about entrepreneurship and say that the most important job of the entrepreneur is to, especially in the early phases of the business, is to market and sell. So until you, even when you have a product, until you have a marketing system and a sales system, you don't have a business. You should not do other things. You should focus on building your marketing and your sales systems to the T. And you should spend 40, 50, 60, 80, 100% of your time, if you have to, just to fine tune the marketing and the sales systems, to keep honing in the marketing and the sales, because that's the lifeblood of your business. And everything else is good. But if your marketing and sales suffer, then there's nothing left in the business. So marketing and sales. Every day you wake up and you do more marketing and sales. That's the only way to get through this phase of business until you get to hire people to do that for you.
Yeah.
But you must build the systems and processes to make it work consistently so that anyone else can come in and say, okay, you got this, let's scale this.
Yep. So
marketing and sales. Super critical to grow the business. Once you get product market fit. Until you get product market fit, you're searching. But once you get there, you got to go real fast with marketing and sales and stop doing all the other shit. Not stop, but spend 80% of your time on marketing sales.
Yeah, no, that's true. All right, cool. Well, see you guys next week on Black Friday.
All right. That'll be fun.